Here with us today, we have Point Loma head coach Joe Schaefer. On his left, shortstop Adam Rios, and on his right, center fielder Mike Capri. Well, Joe, let me start off with a basic question. Just tell me about your team and the journey that they had to this point of the year. 34 wins, most you guys have had since 2010, and just a good season. Unfortunately, had to end in the region.
Yeah, like I told this crew just a couple minutes ago. I mean, just to be in a regional is a big accomplishment, and especially in a region with this much depth. So to be one of the top 6 teams in this region, I think is an accomplishment in itself. And only one team gets to come out of this, gauntlet of a tournament. So I'm proud of these guys. We knew at the start of the year that we had talent, and it took a little bit. It took a little while for this team to come together. But once we started to come together, they were, I think, one of the best teams in the nation, towards the end of the year. I'm proud of them because, 6 weeks ago or so, we didn't think we'd have a shot at being in this position. But these guys, they started to put it together. They started to play good baseball. And like I said, if you end your year in the regional tournament, that's not a terrible thing. That means you were one of the best in the end. And I'm proud of this group.
Adam, we had a situation where Point Loma played a Zoo Pacific here in this ballpark just a couple weeks ago. This game went very much like the 4th game in that series as well. But just tell me once again about the attitude that you guys felt like you guys believed you guys were always in this game. You guys fought back to make it 8-7 after being down 7-1 early. How does this ballpark play and the attitude of the team to just fight for every pitch?
We know that the ballpark plays pretty big, and pitching, you won't have pitching duels here. Very difficult, but we never went to the end. Got all my boys, and it makes it fun. So.
Micah, could you tell us about that rally inning you guys had? You guys put up 4 that one. You have a big hit over the center fielder's head. Just talk about the way you guys started to bring momentum back into your dugout and what it did to tighten up that game a little bit at that point.
Well, it just starts with the leadoff batter, up and down our lineup, and once they get on, we just keep rallying hits together. Usually that big inning usually helps us, and unfortunately not enough. But
Joe, could you tell me about, you talked about it a little bit, but what some of the other teams that you saw in this regional? You guys had to play APU 5 times in about the last 10 days, something like that. Just talk to me as you talk about the quality of this regional and some of the teams that you see facing going forward.
Yeah, I think we knew there were some quality offenses in this tournament, but I think even beyond that, we thought the pitching in this tournament was going to be really, really good. But I think the offense kind of dominated, for the most part, dominated this tournament. So. Some of that could be ballpark related, but for the most part, I think it's just good teams. I think the depth in this region, like I said, is outstanding. And at this point in the year, some of these teams are on a roll. They come into this tournament playing really good baseball, and like I said, I think the offense kind of took over this tournament and beat some good arms. Azusa plays really, really well in this ballpark, and they punished us for making mistakes, and I think that's kind of how most of this tournament's gone with all 6 teams.
Could you tell me a little bit about the challenge of a regional, something like this, of how it can tax your team pitching-wise? It seemed like you guys went down. I think they mentioned that you guys used every arm that you guys could within the last 3 days. Tell me about the importance of having pitching depth and how a tournament like this challenges you with that.
Yeah, tournament play is tricky. Your backs are against the wall with virtually every game. So you can't just. It's not like you're trying to win a series. You may not extend guys as long and try and give them an opportunity to work out of jams or this and that. It's you got to get outs now. You got to get wins now. And so it kind of, in some ways, it changes. How do you utilize your pitching staff, utilize your bullpen, and yeah, us losing that first game, put us in the losers bracket quickly, which means our backs are against the wall, and we got to win to stay alive. So for us, yeah, we utilized virtually every guy we had available over the course of the last 2 days, and it just not enough today.
One final question here from my perspective. Adam, could you tell me what happened, what you kind of saw, the play that the right fielder made on Flores' ball in the 9th inning that, could have, who knows what would have changed when that ball falls in?
I was Alva Cash, one of the web jams that flow going up, he said he's going to hack, and he barreled one. The guy just made a better catch, and it just wasn't our day.
Mike, I'm just kind of curious, like, this is your first regional, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes.
like, how excited are you to get Point Lemmon back to these before you end your collegiate tenure? You're ready to, you're fired up to be an upperclassman and be a leader, I'm assuming, moving forward.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, we have a lot of young players, and we just got to keep working hard throughout the summer, throughout the fall, and just get back here.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Mike.